So rapper Logic admitted that real hip hop doesn't sell well. In this recent video that we're going to watch, Logic was being interviewed by someone like, it looks like it's like outside of the Detroit airport or something.
Yeah.
And he shares to this guy who TMZ bought the video, obviously, and slapped their logo on it. But pretty much how like he spent a lot of time working on, you know, like this real hip hop record, but it just doesn't push the needle and doesn't sell. So
you got a new record that just dropped.
Yeah, Ultra 85. I put it out, and it was fun, and fans have been waiting for it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I put my heart and soul into it. But what I've noticed is like I've been on a run of doing like super hip hop music.
Yeah.
And that doesn't pay the bills.
Really?
But it's because I made all my money before doing pop and turn up.
Right.
And then I've been blessed enough to be in a position to be able to make music from my heart. But next year I'm about to drop all this like Playboy Cardi trap turn up. I'll get a bag and have fun.
Not super surprising to hear somebody say that real hip hop doesn't sell, but
his real hip hop doesn't sell. I mean,
is it just his?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying just. Look, man, I don't even. I mean, it's because I'm not a fan of Logic like that. I don't know when he says, "Oh, my pop turn up." Yeah, I know that some of the pop records he tried to get off and turn up. I'm not sure if I'd put him in the quality turn up, but also like I said, if Playboy Cardi could be sitting right there with a shirt that says "I'm Playboy Cardi," and I'd have to take his word for it. You know, I
agree with you.
As
there.
Somebody who is front and center for the, you know, and seeing how the culture moves in real time. It's not like anybody ever was like, man, y'all gonna play that Playboy Cardi? No, what? It's not. Maybe
not
he just
here.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, maybe he just picked the wrong person to kind of reference. At least for
Playboy Cardi is massive, Jay.
He got away.
I know.
He got away for sure. He got away for sure.
You know, I'm like, when I see the people who are move the needle everywhere, you know, compared to it's just who he meant. And once again, there are people I know who really like Logic. They're diehard Logic fans.
Logic's fan base is crazy.
Yeah, and so
it's crazy.
I don't know if he's
a Rat Pack.
I don't know if this is a real facetious like statement he's making here right now, because I feel like whatever Logic puts out, there are his fans who are going to gravitate towards it.
I believe him when he says, it's weird to hear him say, you know, I'm just paraphrasing based off what I heard, but it's interesting to hear him say, man, I put my heart and soul into it. And, you know, luckily I made enough money to be able to get to the space where I could put my heart and soul into it. Yeah. Like, that's kind of backwards. It's like I had to go do this first so I could be who I actually maybe want to be, or who I am. That's the part that was kind of cringy to me, because I get it. I'm not stupid.
What is cringy about that?
Cringy is that who you really are? Like, is that who you are at your core? Is what it sounds like.
How is that, though, any different than somebody who works a job so that they can put their music out? You know what I mean? How is that any different?
I see where you're going. That's fair. But the records that I guess he alluded to prior to, he's like, I made enough money to be able to do this.
Right.
So are those records that you put out, was that the purpose? Was that the intent? Just to get to the point where I can do what I am? Or is it just
that's what he's saying? I think, and he alluded to actually retiring maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Was supposed to be his last album.
That's a good point.
I know he got big on streaming and stuff for a while. He kind of wanted to focus on family life.
Yep.
That's understandable. He came up during the blog era though. So he was dropping mixtapes, and you know, he garnered a fan base off of that. I wouldn't necessarily say his music is real poppy. It has pop elements as far as sound wise, but like even his raps, to me,
it just depends who he's imitating.
Yeah,
don't do that, Lone. Don't do that.
That's true too. I mean, because it's the truth. But I don't really see him as this pop rap artist.
I don't either, though.
He had one song that did huge numbers. I think it was a Suicide one.
Yeah.
And
that was big.
That's literally the only song that put him on like MTV music awards and things like that. I don't see him being an artist like a Drake. If he's alluding to, he's a pop artist like Drake. I don't see that. No. Even his music, to me, and I've listened to it. I'm not a big Logic fan, but he can rap.
No, he's nice to me.
He imitates a lot of people, but him being true to himself, like you saying, I don't think that it has anything to do with the actual music, because like I'll even use Mac Miller as an example. His early stuff was a lot different to me than what he gradually came into music wise.
For sure.
So I can't be mad at him because he's not doing the same thing before and he decided to get more musical later.
What if I told
Tyler's the same way?
What if I told you? What if I told you Mac Miller and Tyler seemed more authentic in their transition?
That's just your opinion, though. You don't know that. You don't know.
I don't know. I don't
none
know
of these kids.
I
You know
don't.
what I'm saying? You just like their music more, so you're gonna side with them on that.
Perhaps.
But they might be the exact same as this dude.
That's fair.
But I don't know, man. I just don't see. Maybe his fan base got stagnant, and he's not making stuff that his fan base really rocks with, so they're not spending with him or coming out to see him. I don't know.
I think the bigger thing that he's talking about here, I don't think it's as literal as we're taking it.
Mhm.
I think it's more so along the lines of like he can probably put out something that is a little bit more cliche, that we all know is a little bit more cliche,
Yeah.
and it just does way better than his stuff that he spends a lot of time on.
Yeah.
I think that's all that he's really saying here. And to me, that's not surprising for any artist, because I think that's kind of what it is across the board, really. So I think that's the bigger talking point. And Jay said, well, the one thing that stood out to me about all this was Jay said, well, for who? You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know any other artist who dibbles in pop, who the pop stuff doesn't sell way more than the hip hop stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Or
being
even
Logic or not, like,
if you're just talking about trying to find a commercial hip hop sound, like there are artists who that is what they're supposed to be doing, and it's hard for them to figure it out. You just think you can just turn that switch and be like, okay, I'm going to make a song that does 100 million streams on YouTube, and then it's going to be the number one thing. Like, do you say how hard it is for, I mean, and I'm just speaking on this, you know, shout out to their fan bases, but like how hard it's been for Cardi B to try to catch another one.
Good point.
You know, Megan Thee Stallion's records, like luckily she's come along and done some collaborations that have worked out well. But, you know, other than that, like, you know, it's easy to think, oh, I can just jump back in because of my fan base and who I am and what I rap about, and I'm gonna jump on this trap beat and all of a sudden I'm gonna have another number one song, and it's not like that. Like, and like I said, I think there's a certain level of humor that Logic is approaching this with. I don't think that he's,
so too.
you know, so because just to think, okay, well, I'm just going to turn on the button. I'm going to go grab Moneybagg Yo and Bossman D-Lo and put them on a couple songs. And then all of a sudden I'm going, you know, I might have Song of the Summer next year. It just doesn't work like that, because I've seen the rollouts they've had for some of these songs from artists who are supposed to be quote unquote pop, you know, mainstream rap artists, and it doesn't matter how much money you put behind it. You know, if it doesn't connect to the people, it just doesn't. You just can't flip the switch like that.
Yeah, but I also think he has a pretty big fan base.
Fan base is huge.
So, like,
his fan base is huge.
I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever this quote unquote pivot is that he's describing,
I think he's just kind of joking.
Yeah.
Even if he is joking, we'll say, like, if he's just kind of trolling about it, I still think it's going to land because of the size of his fan base. It's not going to be a hard move.
I don't think that's the conversation here. But I think that part at the end was just literally him just joking.
Trolling.
It's just him joking. He's just like joking. Yeah, I'm just going to go do this nonsense over here
Because y'all like it.
I think he's for real.
I think he's
for real. But at the same time, it's like I don't think it's as serious as like something that we need to psychoanalyze, I guess is what I'm saying.
Nah, he's pretty much saying that whatever he's doing now isn't paying the bills.
Yeah.
That's about as real as you can get.
He's not hurting for money though, because he set himself up pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do, man. I don't have to listen to it. I might give it a listen though. I'm not biased like that. I'll listen to it just to hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that when I listened to like Playboi Carti, like I wish that I could understand why it was appealing.
Yeah, he's in them rooms.
It's weird, man. I don't know, like it's weird.
He's in them rooms.
Yeah, that's
he in them rooms.
I mean, like, you know, I tell people, like, there's certain artists I listen to just so I can properly hate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just get on here and start saying, oh, this is trash because I feel like it's trash. I was like, no. I mean, just look, a lot of people do that with Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there are people.
Yeah,
a lot of people will listen to who hate Jay-Z.
Yeah,
because they're not indifferent to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you really didn't like Jay-Z, you'd be indifferent to what he does.
Yes.
But your hate is so strong, you have to go through and pick apart his entire catalog.
Yeah, and I don't even hate Logic. The problem is like I said, he can really rap, but he just mimics people. Like one of his best albums sounds like a Good Kid, Mad City ripoff.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. It's like give or take, but I mean, good luck to you, man.
Yeah.
Turn up with Logic.